What's up, everybody? It's your boy Duty back again with another premiere, and this time I'm calling out our boy DSP on his recent issue with an event that he is planning that for some reason, I don't know why I didn't catch this before, but when I was going through my videos today and just kind of looking at what I posted and stuff like that, one little thing stuck out of my head. I said, why didn't I catch this before? Why didn't I catch this blatant infringement on trademark that Phil is doing, which he can get in trouble for? And I will show you what it is, and I can show you how to report our boy Phil. So let's get into the video. I'll stop it and provide some needed commentary as needed.
Renewing a membership, if perhaps one that you had already lapsed, or possibly gifting some memberships to the channel. Yes, gifted memberships are available, all right? And they're greatly appreciated. I can tell you right now, we have about 600 or more people who are ready to accept a gifted membership, because at one point we had well over 1,000 members here on the channel.
Okay, for some of you that don't know, what he's doing is he's putting out the whale call to his whale Emil or OIC to come in and hurry up and drop that 100 gifted membership bomb that they do every month to prop up the channel. So that's essentially what Phil is doing. And if the viewers hit that 600 member goal that Phil is looking for, he's going to do a celebratory event for the dens. And there lies the problem. And we all know our boy Phil loves talking about breaking the law and people breaking the law, and how everything is, people break, like the trolls and the detractors are breaking the law. Well, Phil, I think you're breaking the law here.
A few months ago, and all those gifted memberships lapsed. So if you are interested in receiving a gifted membership, type !gift into the stream chat. There's a link you can click on. That's a check for your channel to see if you can enable a gifted membership. Not every channel is eligible, but if you don't have it, you might want to enable it just in case someone starts dropping gifted members. You might get one. It's based on many criteria, including how often you attend streams, your engagement on said streams, meaning how much you chat, how much you like the content on this channel, etc. Okay? So thank you in advance to anyone. Now, what is at stake? I'll tell you what is at stake. An unprecedented, unique event, the likes of which I've never done before. It is called DSP's Super Bowl Saturday Bash.
Alrighty, folks, for some of y'all that are a little bit, into the know and kind of know a little bit about football and know about commercials, know about how the NFL works, I'm going to leave this up for 1 second to see if you can point out what the problem is here. I'm going to do a countdown. 3, 2, 1. All right, if you haven't guessed yet, it's one little word right here that's a problem. You see that little word right there that says Super Bowl? Super Bowl, right? That's a problem for Phil. That's a problem for Phil. And I will get into specifically why that's a problem for Phil.
Now, I've never done a sports-related event before, ever in the history of me making content in 15 years. Every once in a while, I'll play a sports game as a one-off, but I have never ever specifically just done a sports-related event. So, what does this entail? Number one, a marathon, meaning I'll play all day long rather than 2 separate streams with 2 different games. It's an all-day long event. Number 2, I will dress up in NFL attire. I own 3 NFL jerseys, the likes of which I will wear during this event and alternate between. Number 3, I'm going to buy some NFL-related merchandise to have during the stream, whether it's to have in the background or actually do stuff with during the stream. I might even get one of those hats where you could drink out of it because it has those straws that'll go to like beer bottles or whatever. We'll see. But in addition to that, I'm also going to purchase a good variety of foods that you would eat if you were watching a sports game, whether that's going to be snacks like chips or nachos or, things you could toss in the microwave. But also, I'll order actual real, like a meal.
Phil's going to do what humans do on the Super Bowl game. That's what Phil is telling everybody he's going to do. All right, it's almost over. I just want to let it play out. So keep thinking Super Bowl. Keep thinking Super Bowl. All right, and I'll explain what the issue here is.
That would be the kind of food that you would order as well, like maybe pizza or wings or bowl to have as well during like a Feasting with the King special for this event. And then on top of that, what will we be actually doing during the event? I'll be playing a few retro sports games on the Switch. I know for a fact Tecmo Super Bowl is on there. I've never played it. That'd be pretty neat. In addition, we'll be reacting to classic Super Bowl ads on YouTube. And then, on top of all of that, I think we're going to do a 30-man over-the-top rope fantasy battle royale sim in WWE 2K22. I think that would be absolutely awesome to do. Something silly and something special for the event. So, that's a lot of rewards. A really special day. When would this be? The day before the Super Bowl. So that would be Saturday, February 11th. All right? Listen.
Alrighty, I think most of you probably figured out what the issue here is, essentially. But for some reason, it popped in my head later on after I actually recorded that segment, and it just, I saw him talk about this is the reward, and it just didn't click. For some reason, I was busy. I don't know. My head was somewhere else. Maybe I was tired. Maybe I was dealing with low-cal Pasta Eric. I don't know what it was, but something clicked in my head and said, wait a minute, I did a thesis paper on this when I was in college. I remember having a business class, and we talked about trademark and so on. And for some reason, it popped in my head and said, wait a minute, Super Bowl is actually trademarked. Super Bowl is trademarked by the NFL. It is owned by the NFL. You cannot mention it. You cannot say it in either a commercial. If you go to church and you have a Super Bowl party to raise some funds for your church, you're going to play the game, you cannot call that a Super Bowl party. You can't even really call your home thing, like a home party with a bunch of people or whatever. I don't even think you can call that a Super Bowl party. Like, you can't publish it. You can't put a flyer out, right? Like, you can't rent a hall or, like a rental space that has a big TV and say, hey, for $5, come down for our Super Bowl party. You can't do that. You cannot do that. You need to get permission, written permission by the NFL, and I believe you have to pay a fee for that. That's mainly due to for bars and stuff like that. It's not really enforced for residential, like for non-commercial things. You know what I mean? Like if you're in your house with your family and you want to throw a little Super Bowl party and you call it a Super Bowl party, that's fine. But if you, like Phil, run a business, Phil calls it a business, right? And he is trying to incentivize people buying memberships so that he can give them a Super Bowl party, right? Or whatever he's calling the Super Bowl event, DSP. That is a commercial use of the word Super Bowl. And that is a violation against the NFL trademark, right? You can't say Super Bowl. Maybe he can call it like the big game or something like that. Maybe he can say football. There's certain terms he can use, but he cannot use the word Super Bowl. He cannot. And if the NFL is made aware of this, they will definitely send a cease and desist letter to our boy Phil. And, he can be financially held. I believe you have to get permission and pay a fee to actually get this done. And a lot of this is due to like smaller bars and stuff like that tend to, have the Super Bowl and then charge like a cover fee. You got to get, 5 minimum drink cover or something like that to watch the game. Those companies and bars and small business, they have to get permission and they have to pay a fee. And I'm pretty sure Phil, no matter, just because he's a one-man army there, he still calls himself a business and he's using it for commercial purposes. So he needs to follow this policy, submit a request, and pay a little fee. He has to. And if he doesn't, he is in violation of the NFL trademark policy. All right, so there's a little bit more here. All right, so and it just talks about why they strictly enforce it. The NFL, they are all about branding. They are all about if it belongs. You know how they crack down on people that sell merchandise that isn't NFL, license. They crack down on this stuff. They do not play, Phil. They do not play. Okay. So I think you really need to stop calling it the Super Bowl. You need to take that off of your little banner, right? You need to stop doing that because you can get yourself in trouble. Okay, the big question here is, how do I report copyright infringement to the NFL? Here is a email right here, dmcaagent@nfl.com. I'm going to leave it up for a second. You can take that. And of course, if you want, I'm not telling anybody to do it, But if you want, you can give the NFL a heads up about DSP and what he's doing using the Super Bowl word to profit. Because Phil is big. Phil hates people that use his content without permission and profit off of that, right? So I think we should hold Phil to the same standard, right? And say, Phil, we know how much you hate when people use your content and profit off of it, and you want them to get reported. So we think we should do the same to you. We should hold you accountable, hold you to that standard, and let the NFL know that you are breaking their trademark. You are abusing their trademark. You do not have permission to use this in a commercial venture, which is what you are doing, Phil. And you are infringing on this policy. So I just wanted to provide the information. Matter of fact, this is straight from the NFL website. So feel free to jot it down. Again, not telling anybody what to do, but the information is there. Your boy Duty likes to provide all the information. So grind emojis in the chat. Peace out.